Some street-level heroes might surprise you, having powers that in some cases could put them on a global or even cosmic scale. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. It's me, Amanda. Which street-level hero do you think deserves more love in the comics or on the screen? Let us know in the comments. But before we jump into this video, a quick word from this video sponsor. Have you ever wanted to escape to a beautiful tropical island while also possibly winning millions? As long as you make it out alive, of course. If so, Mad Cave Studios series Nature's Labyrinth is for you. From writer Zach Thompson and artist Bailey Underwood, with colors by Warnia Sahadua and letters by Russ Woden. This is a series about survival, adventure, and gruesome ends. Follow our contestants, 8 of the world's most notorious criminals, as they traverse a deadly complex lined with traps on a mysterious, remote, ever-changing tropical island designed by an equally mysterious man known only as Ahab. Over the course of 3 days, they will compete in a battle royale style game, competing to win vast riches and a clean slate. Not all are who they seem, and one person has infiltrated the island, planning to reveal the truth about Nature's Labyrinth. Find out who will make it out alive. Nature's Labyrinth issue number 1 releases in stores and online on November 2nd. Pre-order Nature's Labyrinth now. You can find the link in our description box. Number 10. Catman. Catman is a hero who does not get enough love. He was originally a villain until Gail Simone flipped the script with his character, redeeming him by having him join the Secret Six. He'd later go on to become their leader. Catman was once the enemy of Batman. His power set currently is also connected to his kinda cat-like mantle, with him being believed to have 9 lives and enhanced sense of smell, at least in the Prime Earth continuity. Traditionally, some of his powers in the New Earth continuity were connected to his suit, but regardless, he has always been a gifted hunter, fighter, acrobat, and in that previous continuity was also considered a genius, which so many people in the DC universe are. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are loving what we do here at Top 10 Nerd, please go check out our newest channel, Most Amazing Top 10 Anime. Number 9. Ricochet. Ricochet is a really interesting hero. He's actually a mutant, but has also been spotted as a one-time member at the Avengers Academy. He also is a former member of the Slingers, which was where he was first introduced in their eponymous series in the 1990s. While the Slingers would later disband, they have since returned in the comics, with Ricochet being reunited with his former partner Dusk, who believed he was being held against his will when he simply had taken up a job with Beyond and was participating in experiments involving interdimensional tech. Ricochet's mutant power grants him enhanced agility and dexterity, which also lends to him having a power similar to Spider Sense, where he can basically feel when he's in danger, and also makes him a skilled marksman as well. Number 8. Wildcat. You know Black Canary? You know Catwoman? You know Batman? You know Superman? Well then in a way, you know Wildcat. Ted Grant is Wildcat and he has trained all of those superheroes. If you've seen them go to blows with the villain, there's likely that you're seeing some of his skills on display there as a teacher and a boxer. Ted Grant was framed for the death of one of his opponents as a boxer years ago, and that's what has inspired him to become a fighter for justice, becoming a hero in his own right who served on the Justice Society of America. Number 7. Hornet. Hobie Brown is a hero who does not get enough love, not by a long shot. He recently appeared alongside the Slingers in the Amazing Spider-Man series during the Beyond event. He appeared in a side story that was featured in one of the Point Bays, or perhaps I should say the Point Bs, since that's short for Beyond. I still like saying Point Bay though. Hobie is known for his genius intellect, although he initially thought a life of crime was the right way to go with that, adopting the identity of the Prowler on Earth 616, but Spider-Man was quick to encourage his reform, even giving him work impersonating Spider-Man to protect Peter Parker's secret identity. He initially used his genius to build his first suit, which was where he basically got his powers from, possessing, no superpowers himself. He has since also built his newest suit for his heroic mantle of Hornet, and honestly, I'm really hoping we get to see more of him and the Slingers in the comics soon. The Slingers are so cool. Number 6. Huntress. For this version of Huntress, we are focusing on Helena Bertinelli, who unbeknownst to her had grown up in a mafia household. When a hit was put on her family, she was one of the only people that survived, and really only survived by accident. She trained in the old country of Sicily, being taken in by her father and uncle, but eventually learned the truth of her own family's involvement with the mafia, and learned that the mafia was not really good but a source of corruption and evil. When she returned to Gotham to visit a family as a teenager over the holidays, she witnessed Batman attack her family, and rightfully so, she thought. She didn't really like her family. Inspired by him and the fear that he created, she decided to follow in his footsteps and become a vigilante with her life devoted to wiping out the mafia in order to get her revenge. Number 5. Elektra. Elektra is often thought of as more of a villain in the comics, and more of a dead villain really, since well, she's mostly famous for kinda dying and thereby breaking Daredevil's heart, as she was his lover, his former lover. In fact, she was the first love that Daredevil ever really lost, which has kinda become his thing, although even before she died she was kinda lost to Matt Murdock in terms of their love story anyways. Elektra was pulled to the side of darkness but would later return in the comics and has since turned to the side of good, even walking in Matt's footsteps and donning his cowl, becoming herself a version of Daredevil. Number 4. The Question. The Question has been asked by a few different people over the years, and honestly the Question is a character that probably doesn't get enough love on this channel. Whether we're talking about Vic Sage, who randomly lives again despite having previously died from cancer, or Renee Montoya, his GCPD detective who was his former love interest who was later revealed to be gay and then later followed in her mentor Sage's footsteps, or the other one, the nameless one, who was kind of less cool than either of the other iterations in my opinion. The Question is an interesting character. While things got a little too magical with the newest version of the character, I've always loved that the original Question was both a master detective but also somewhat mystical as well, having much knowledge of things both spiritual and supernatural gathered through his travels. While not particularly well known for his fighting style, Vic did train Renee Montoya, who was already a pretty good fighter, being a trained boxer and police officer who also became a skilled martial artist, and even at one point managed to hold her own for a period of time in a fight against Lady Shiva, with Shiva even remarking on how the fight was more interesting than she initially expected. Which from Lady Shiva, hey, that's a compliment. Number 3. Moon Knight. Moon Knight is a hero who many people now have more respect for thanks to his appearance in the MCU in his own series, Moon Knight. Here he is depicted as a man divided who brings all sides of himself together to take on god-level threats. If that isn't strong, I do not know what is. But even in the comics, Moon Knight has always had this potential really. While street level in terms of the types of fights that he generally picks across personas, he also has an origin and background steeped in the supernatural and in mysticism. A lot of people think of Moon Knight as kind of just like a crazy guy who's really good at beating people up, but in reality he potentially gains power from the moon due to his connection to the, as of now, confirmed to be real god known as Khonshu. Aside from that, Moon Knight has also literally had to fight gods, even having to fight against his own god during Age of Khonshu. This likely has dampened his power source somewhat, as Khonshu is currently locked away, but Moon Knight still remains a powerful hero regardless. Number 2. Batwoman. Batwoman doesn't get hyped a lot on our channel unless we're talking about the Bat family or queer representation in comics, I feel. At least speaking for my own list, and when I tend to talk about Batwoman, but she deserves to be hyped just for being a powerful hero in her own right. Kate Kane is the cousin of Bruce Wayne, and I just realized that their names rhyme. Kate Kane, Bruce Wayne. What the heck? She was kicked out of the military for being gay and ended up deciding to put her skills and abilities to good use as a vigilante instead. What's even more impressive is that although Kate only ever wanted to serve after losing her mom and her sister, she actually admits to being gay as opposed to hiding it, which is what causes her to have to leave the military. She couldn't bring herself to lie about it, and honestly, this shows one of Kate's greatest strengths and most prominent traits: honor. Kate Kane is a hero even skilled fighters like Cassandra Cain look up to, and she's proven to be skilled enough to take out an unsuspecting Batgirl, aka Barbara Gordon, which is no easy feat. Barbara Gordon is a pretty impressive fighter. Number 1. Danny Rand. Or Daniel Rand if we're being formal. While I do sometimes like to poke fun at Danny Rand, the fact remains that he is insanely OP, especially for being a street level superhero. While no longer the Iron Fist currently in the comics, Danny Rand for a long time was the guy you thought of when you thought the words Iron Fist. He's defeated dragons! Even without the Iron Fist power though, he is still a master martial artist who could probably only be rivaled in terms of his skill by the likes of someone else just as gifted, someone like another deadly martial artist superhero like Shang-Chi. Rand has complete control of his nervous system and can also withstand pain and achieve a sense of control over his body using meditation techniques. His senses are so great and attuned that he doesn't even need to be able to see his opponent to fight them, and he has been said to be a master of chi. That's all the time we have for this list. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, you stay nerdy, YouTube. The question has been asked by a few different people over the years. The question has been asked. I mean, sure, Amanda, I know what you mean there.